Hi, this is Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is a March closeout, and I'm going to roll right into April cash stuffing. So today is Friday, April 2nd. I'm a little bit late doing this video, but I wanted to make sure everything cleared for the month of March and all my bills were paid, and so I'm ready to do my cash stuffing. So the last week of the month, I actually had to go back and backtrack because I did not write down any transactions. It just, I don't know what happened. This whole month, I'm glad it's over with. I love a new month. It really does help to kind of motivate me again. So for groceries, so my last check-in was on the morning of the 26th. So for groceries, I spent $45 on the 30th and $64 on the 31st. So that was $109. And that is my only envelope that I have money left in. For eating out, why did I put that in brown? Should not have been in brown. My daughter and I went to the other side of town to pick up tables for my younger daughter, and she gave us $30 for dinner since we were going to be gone for a couple hours, which I thought was sweet of her. And we went to dinner, but it was more than that, so I took $34 out of my envelope in addition to the money she gave us. So $34 plus 16 for Chipotle, and that was $50. For allowance, I spent $14 at Michael's, $36 at Amazon, and that is $50. Entertainment, I didn't have anything. Household, I didn't have anything. Personal care, I didn't spend anything. And giving, I spent $100. So I have $0 left. So pretty much used everything in my envelopes except for groceries. So let's see what we have left in groceries. And this is the Motrin pocket in the deluxe version with the 30 rings. I get a couple questions about that. And then these are pouches that I labeled with vinyl. These are in my shop now. I have the pouches in the pocket, the personal, and the A5. And then I have a lot of choices in the vinyl for color as well as font. So in my groceries, I still have $31. So, okay, so I'll just put 140, and I'm gonna take the 31 and put it in savings. Everything else is done. So let's take a look at my sinking funds, because this is where the real damage happened. So for my car fund, I did add $2,084 at the beginning of the month. I have $25,000 left in my car fund, which is what I had goaled myself to. For Christmas and gifts, I started the month with $1,523. I added $1,000. I used $296. I now have $2,227 in my Christmas and gifts. Fitness, I started with $0. I added $200. I didn't use anything, so I still have $200. Medical copays was just, so I started with, it was empty, and then I added $200. Then I spent $180 plus $55 plus 17 plus 40 plus $390. So I spent $682. Then I got a refund for this $180 minus the $200. So I was over $302. Now this $302 I actually budgeted for in April. I didn't think that this $390 was going to be paid in March. I thought I was going to pay it in April. So that is why it's so over, but I can pay myself back because I've already paid that. Vacation is where I had the most issues. So I started with $2,510. I added $500. I spent $1,754 when we went to Vegas. And I now have in my vacation fund 1,256. So I do have kind of a little bit of a recovery plan for this. I don't have any vacation plans coming up, but I do want to build that back up, just so that I always have a fully funded vacation fund. For my Etsy shop, I started with $615, and when I say Etsy shop, those are just supplies that I want to buy, or if I want to expand some of the things. I added 500. I spent 615 plus 500. I now have 389 minus 111 minus 106. I spent 672. So what I bought this month was I bought more of the pouches for my shop. I did buy a new planner, the Erasable Cloud B6, and I did buy the Sadie Stickers planner, as well as the Coffee Monster Co. anniversary sale. So again, yeah. Technology, I started with 3,425. I spent 500, which is the payment towards the computer. I spent another 200 for a photo printer. I've had a photo, the Epson Photo Mate Charm, which is a 4x6 printer that I use for memory keeping. I've had it for about 15, maybe 16 years. It finally can no longer be updated enough with all the new operating systems for Mac. So I did try to update it. It still works okay, but I did go ahead and buy the Canon Ivy, which with the printer and the paper was 200. So I now have 2,717. Savings challenge, I started with 670. I added 435. I now have 1,095. Birthday was a new fund. I added 250. I have 250. Dental, this 372 I actually just absorbed into my cushion because I'm going to do something different for my Invisalign. And then for the cushion, I deposited $1,000 into the account, and I still have that cushion in my account. I'm not going to normally track this as a sinking fund because, quite frankly, it's really not a sinking fund. It's just a cushion. So, but because I put the 1,000 in for this month, I wanted to account for that 1,000. So that's why you see it this time. So, recovery plan. For vacation, the month of April is actually a very expensive month for me, between taxes, our HOA, what else was there? A wedding that we're getting a gift for. So I'm not going to put a lot into vacation in the month of April, but then I'm going to start to escalate it. So this really wasn't a fund that I was supporting because with COVID we really weren't going anywhere, but I do have some trips I'd like to do in 2022, so I definitely will start funding that again. So overall, not a great month, not a super bad month. I've had worse month, but I think what I enjoy with budgeting is that every month is a kind of a fresh start. And so let's roll right into April and see what we're planning to do. Now I already posted an April setup, and there's been a few changes already, but I'll kind of walk you through what those are as we get there. So I've gone ahead and set this up. Let me start with my starting balances. So, okay, so for car, I already put that in. For gifts and Christmas, it's 2,227. For fitness, it's 200. For vacation, it's 1,256. For Etsy shop, it's 389. For technology, it's 2,717. Savings challenge is 1,095, and birthday it's 250. So this month I set this up a little bit differently. So I still have my income up here. I still have sinking funds here. I have my fixed expenses. So on my fixed expenses, I had estimated 500 for the phone bill, and it was actually 429. For water and trash, I had estimated 150 and it was 101. Now this is going to go up in the month of April because we drained our pool, cleaned it, and refilled it. So that will probably be about 150 or so plus our regular bill. So I'm going to have to bring that up for the month of May. Electric I have not gotten yet. Life insurance is always 106. I've already paid my mortgage. I've already paid, oh no. But the gym I did get is actually 52. Internet will be the same. Netflix is always the same. Electric I don't know. Auto insurance is always the same. Natural gas I don't know. Pest control. My HOA has already been taken out of my account. And all of these are the same. I don't know my ending tax prep. I will tell you we have a huge liability for taxes. So just a little story on this. So when my husband started his new job in January of 2020, he had put 0 deductions to come out of his check, plus an additional $200 for federal and $100 for state. His company only took out the $200 for federal and $100 per state per month or per week. So we have a huge hole. Now on the bright side, we only save that money. We don't spend that money because we live on my husband's pension, my severance package, and then in January of 2022, when my severance package is done, we will start to pull from our retirement account. So fortunately, we have just been saving that money. On the other side of that is that that was really not what we had wanted to spend the money on, and fortunately the penalty his company actually paid because it was their fault. We have since corrected it and then made up for the first 3 months of this month, but because he's never looked at his pay stub and he's paid the same every time because he's on salary, he did not realize that they were not taking out more in taxes. They were taking out his 401k, they were taking out Social Security, unemployment, all that. They weren't taking out state and federal. So on the bright side, we have the money to pay it. We don't have to get a loan. We don't have to pay penalties because his company's paying the penalty, which really weren't that much. But we are going to have a huge tax liability in the month of April, but the money's in the account. We're just going to move it out. My feeling was we just wait a little bit longer on my car as well as my the construction we're doing on the house, just to kind of build that account back up. So I like to have a really healthy emergency fund. It makes me feel better. So that is our sad tax story. So prep, I'm thinking will be about $400. He has a part-time business that he is a consultant for. I have my shop, and then we have our income. So our taxes are a little bit more complicated than most. So that's about what it's gonna run. This year, I don't know for sure. Okay. So I decided to change this time and kind of expand the weekly check-in. So each page, because in this particular planner, which is different than planners in the past, there's some extra pages every month. So I went ahead and did week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then I'll have areas to balance out sinking funds and things like that. So I think this will be good. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to take out this sheet and this sheet. So if you saw my April budget setup, you've seen these sheets. Pretty much this is what I set up. Some things that are going to be a little bit different is I did go ahead and go back to HelloFresh because I was just really bored with my meals. And there's a choice on HelloFresh where you can do meat and veggies, which is basically the eating plan that I'm on. So I got my first box today. They did give me a discount on the box. Instead of 62, it was 22. And then I'll have a discount on the next 2 boxes. So I went ahead and pulled the money out for groceries. I'm going to put some of it back in the bank each week as it comes through because it does charge to my Capital One credit card. And then everything else should be the same. So our income was the same. The phone bill was a little bit less than I had anticipated. So my daughter paying me the $100 actually is a wash with what the bill should have been versus what it was with the new phones. And then my list of things I needed to. So this $380 is really $390, and I've already paid that. So I'm just going to pay myself back. So let's get started. So I did decide to go ahead and still take out the money for the month. And my daughter did clean today, so I've already spent 120 of this money because I had my first COVID-19 vaccine yesterday and I have not gotten out of bed for 24 hours. It hit me like a brick. So I don't know if that's because I've had COVID, but this was no joke. I've had the flu shot every year, never really affected me. I didn't have any of the allergies that they said were a problem. It just, fever, chills, it was a very long night. So I'm still not 100%. I'm hoping by tomorrow I am, so I can enjoy Easter this weekend, but I'm now dreading the next one. So we'll see. I'll take the 5s over here. Okay, so we know with household I spent 120, so when I get to that one, you might need to shout at the screen that there's a reason that money isn't there. Okay, so let's start with this little guy. And I've already done my new sheet for my transactions. And I'm gonna take my old ones out. I'm kind of getting used to this now. At first I was like, oh, I kind of miss my wallet, but I think we're okay now. So for groceries, I'm going to put in 75 because I'm going to take 50 off of each week and put it back into the bank for HelloFresh, and then whatever left at the end of the month I can just add back into groceries. So I'm going to do 50, 75. So HelloFresh, we do 3 meals. So then we go out one night, so then there's just 2 meals that I need to come up with a plan for. So I just was really getting really tired of what I was making, and I wasn't feeling motivated to cook. And we actually had popcorn twice for dinner, or I had popcorn twice for dinner. My husband was like, is that your dinner? I'm like, yep. Because sometimes I just don't feel like cooking. So for the rest of the month, I have, I hope I did this right. I think I did. These 50s are brand new, so they're very crisp, so I just need to make sure I don't stick them together. So let's see. So that's 150, 190, 310, 325. So if I take my 500 minus 75 minus 325, that means I need to put $100 into my bank for HelloFresh. So I'll just wait till the end to see how I want to pull that out. Okay, so for eating out, I'm gonna do 50. Now I did think when I went over so badly last month in vacation that I would just shave every single one of my categories as part of a recovery plan. But I feel like with Easter and with my daughter moving into her house, I know I'm gonna be helping her out and stuff, that I'm just gonna leave this, and then I'm gonna really look to bring down May as a bare bones budget. So 50 goes into restaurants. And today is Friday, so that's normally our going out night. And then 40, 60, 80, 120. So there should be 150 in my envelope. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 30, 40, 50. I haven't gone over in this category for a while, but I have used my allowance, so I don't know if that's really a true statement. So eating out. And then allowance is 50. And this is another category that I'm really going to look at for May, because I kind of just feel like my allowance fills in for envelopes that I go over in, which really isn't the intent of that. But, you know, it is what it is right now. And then I have 150 for the balance of the month. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, then clothing is going to get 100, and I did 250s. So I'm going to put the 250s in here, which is empty. And this was another thing that kind of messed me up a little bit, because I have 2 different envelopes for clothing, but I'm going to go ahead and separate them. So I added 100. I do need to find something still to wear to the wedding that we're going to. It's always traumatic. And I just flipped these over, so I use both sides. So you're wondering what that other side was. And then in this clothing envelope, I should have 145. I did spend $30. I bought some t-shirts for yoga, and so I should have 145. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 41, 42, 43, 40, 45. So I still have 145 in here. I just find if I put all of this in here, it gets really fat. So I still like to keep some of it at home. Okay, so personal care, I decided to fund more this month. I have 50 left. I'm going to add 100, and I'm going to leave this 50. No, I don't think that's right. Personal care. No, I'm doing 150 and 50 in entertainment. So let me just correct this. Okay, so I'm going to take this 50 and put it to the side for savings. And then I'm going to do 150, 2 20s, 4 10s, 3 5s, and 5 1s. And these should be my only ones I have. So it should be 150. 50, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So during the summertime, I like to give myself more in this personal care because I do like to get pedicures more often since it's summer in Arizona. And I just find that that helps. And then I'm going to use this side. So 4, 2, actually I'm gonna I'm gonna leave it all in here because I'm not getting to massage till the end of the month. Fund 150. So at that time I'll add it into my personal care. Okay, so these are done and they go in this one. These are the ones I use the most often. And so I keep them in here with, which also has my check register and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so the next ones we're going to fund is entertainment. Let's take all this out. I think I'm going to be able to go back to church, physical church, this month. They are lifting a lot of the restrictions in Arizona, which I think they are nationally. And I'm hoping that we're still going to social distance. We no longer need to make a reservation. I think they're going to expand the number of services again so that we can spread out more. For Easter, I am going to my daughter's church with her, which they have a mask. I guess you have the mask policy is it's your choice. So I don't know how I feel about that, but anyways, so I am going to take this money on the side and I'm going to throw that into savings. And this was the money from my 2 envelopes, groceries and personal care, that I had money left over. And then for entertainment, I'm gonna put 50, and that is one $50 bill. There really isn't movies out right now. I don't know if you found this in your city too, that there's just nothing. I mean, they're doing a lot of reruns for movies, but I don't know. I don't really want to pay money to go see a movie that I've seen 1,000 times, so that doesn't sound fun to me. So hopefully they're going to get going again and start making movies. So for household, it was $300. I already put $120 in, so I'm going to take another $120 and $60, right? Oh no, I did a $50, a $20, and a $10. So the $80 I'm going to put inside my household envelope. And then the $120 will go for the next time that she cleans, which I don't know when that's going to be. So 4, 2, fund, 80. I would like to buy some new chairs for the pool, because you know, they just sitting in the sun year after year, they get kind of broken down, but I don't think I could be able to buy those for $80, so I might need to save up some more. So household I'm going to put over here. And then for birthday, I am going to put $200. I think in my last video I said that I was saving up for a Louis Vuitton wallet for my birthday. I had bought one from Poshmark that I felt like was too good of a deal to be true, and it was. When I got it, it was obviously a counterfeit, so I had to send pictures in, and I'm sending it back to the seller, because even though it was a really good counterfeit, I don't want a counterfeit one. So I don't mind getting a used wallet, I just don't want a fake wallet. So that's $200 into birthday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 50. And my goal is to have 1,000 by July. So it worked out to be $50 a week. And then for the savings challenge, it's $405. So it's 2 $100 bills. It's 2 $50s. It's 4 $20s. It's 110 and 3 5s. Okay, so let's see if this is right. So 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 105, 405. Okay, that's right. So for the first week of April, it's $75. So I'm going to do a 50, a 20, and a 5. And this is the savings challenge, I may need to combine bills because it's getting a little chunky. But because I stuff it weekly, then I have to break down the denominations more. But now that the month is over, I could probably go in and just, you know, at the end of this month, put 4 $100 bills and a $5 bill, and that will just make it a little bit more compact. So 75 in there for the first week of April. And then this all goes into my savings challenge envelope. Okay, so for medicine, it is 100, right? 250, so why do I have an extra 10? I don't know. And why don't I have an extra 100 for groceries? So that is the question. Let's see, this goes back into the bank. I'll put this 10 back into the bank. And then medicine gets 100. And my husband did go today and pick up scripts for $138. So I'm like, hey, that's not my budget right now. That comes out of your allowance. So maybe this $100 will last me through the end of the month. And 100. So it did not last me last month. Okay, so recreation, I put in there. Clothing is part in here. Personal care is on my other one. Household is part here. Okay, so these are all ready to go. And then for the bank, I'm going to put back in, this is the 30 for my clothing because I used my credit card because I was just at Walmart and I didn't have this with me. So 20, 30, 41. Goes back into bank for now. I need to figure out 450s. Oh, no. You know what I did? I left it in the account. So for groceries, I did 200 plus 80 plus 20. That's still not right. So 200 plus 80 plus, oh, that's right. Okay, so 50 a week, which is $200. That's what I left in the account, and I have 300 that I pulled out for this. Okay, it's right. I don't know where that extra 10 came from, but okay. So that is all my cash envelopes for the beginning part of April. And I do pull out all of the money for the month. And then I just replenish my envelopes on a weekly basis when I do my check-in. And I am finding that that is working out a little bit better for me than going back to the bank more often. Okay, that goes in there. So that's everything for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, or if you're doing this differently, or how you're stuffing your envelopes. Unfortunately, we did not get a stimulus check, which is fine. We did not get, we're definitely not getting a tax return, though I have been loving watching everybody's cash stuffing for their stimulus check and their tax return. We are paying a lot of money, but that's our own fault. We should have caught it earlier in the year. But fortunately, my husband is a great saver, so we have the money and we don't need to worry about where the money's coming from. So on that front, I feel like we are blessed. So have a great rest of your week. I hope you all have a happy Easter, those of you that are celebrating, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.